Hello friends, welcome to our first and special movie explanation video. In this video, we will be discussing the biggest movie of the year, titled Kalki 2898 AD. The movie Kalki begins thousands of years ago during the Mahabharata War. In this war, the Pandavas' army defeats the Kauravas' army, leaving only Ashwatthama alive. Here we see that during the Mahabharata, Ashwatthama is portrayed by none other than Amitabh Bachchan. When Ashwatthama witnesses that the Pandavas have not only killed all his friends, the Kauravas, but also his father Dronacharya, he becomes furious. Enraged, Ashwatthama invokes the Brahmastra and directs it at the unborn child of Abhimanyu's pregnant wife. As a result, the child is killed by the Brahmastra's attack. Witnessing this, Lord Krishna becomes extremely angry. First, he beats Ashwatthama severely and then curses him to remain alive against his will, begging for death, but unable to die until the end of Kali Yuga. Realizing his grave mistake, Ashwatthama repents and seeks forgiveness from Lord Krishna. Hearing this, Lord Krishna gives him a chance for redemption. He tells Ashwatthama that the upcoming age is Kali Yuga, in which a powerful demon named Kali will emerge and wreak havoc on the world. However, to defeat Kali, Lord Krishna will incarnate as Kalki. To prevent this, Kali will attempt to stop Kalki's birth by targeting his mother. It will be Ashwatthama's duty to help ensure Kalki's birth. 6,000 years pass, and the story moves to the present. With the end of the Mahabharata War, the Kali Yuga has begun. In this age, humans have evolved significantly, developing advanced technology and powerful weapons. However, due to their anger and hatred, they began fighting each other, resulting in wars that devastated the world. In the present time, we see that the entire world is destroyed, except for one livable city named Kashi, located in India. Kashi is known as the first city in the world, established at the dawn of human civilization. Apart from Kashi, there is another livable city called Sambala, whose location is known to very few. Within Kashi, there is a stark divide between the rich and the poor. The rich live in a large, systematic complex that resembles a triangle. This complex provides food, clean water, air, good clothing, housing, trees, rivers, and forests, making it a haven for the wealthy. The complex is ruled by a leader known as Supreme Yaskin, who manages it with the help of his own army, led by a commander. In this complex city, there is no currency like dollars or rupees. Instead, a unit-based currency system is used. These units are equivalent to money here. Therefore, any rich person who wants to live in the complex must pay 1,000,000 units, which means 1,000,000 units or 10 lakh units. Since poor people do not have this many units, they have to live outside the complex, although they all want to get inside. At this point, the main hero of our movie, Rebel Star Prabhas, makes his entry. In this movie, he plays the character of Bhairava. As Bhairava makes his entrance, we learn that he lives in Kashi city but has no family, no mother, father, or siblings. He lives alone but is a skilled fighter who knows many ways to fight. Bhairav is also a good person, but he dreams of living inside the complex one day and enjoying a luxurious life. However, to enter the complex, he needs 1,000,000 units, which he does not have. He lives on borrowed units and never pays them back on time. One day, a spy from Sambala sneaks into Kashi, and many goons try to capture him, because anyone from Sambala who is captured and handed over to the complex soldiers receives a big bounty. When Bhairav sees the spy, he fights off the goons and captures the spy himself. After capturing him, Bhairava realizes that the spy is just an ordinary man investigating the complex. But Bhairava needs units, so he ignores the spy's pleas and locks him up in his house, planning to hand him over to the complex later for a 10,000 unit reward. Bhairav plans to collect many units this way, so he can eventually gather 1,000,000 units and enter the complex. Later, we see Disha Patani's character, Roxy, who is Bhairava's girlfriend in the movie. Roxy informs Bhairava that she has secured a job in the complex, starting the next day, doing cleaning work. Upon hearing this, Bhairava asks Roxy to take him with her for just one day so he can see the complex from the inside. When Bhairava enters the complex, he is overjoyed to see its beauty: clean water, plentiful food, rivers, forests, and many other beautiful things. Bhairava starts enjoying everything with Roxy, but soon he is caught by the soldiers and thrown out of the complex. Having seen the beauty inside, Bhairava becomes more determined to gather 1,000,000 units and live in the complex. The scene then shifts, showing the inside of the complex. We see a large lab with many girls and scientists conducting research on them. Here, we learn that the supreme leader of the complex, Yaskin, is actually Kali. Kali, portrayed by Kamal Hassan, is in terrible condition. His body is weak and frail, and he has no powers. To avoid confusion, we will refer to Yaskin as Kali. We see that Kali is in a very bad state and wants to regain his powers and become strong again. Kali harbors a deep hatred for humans. Kali believes that humans are destroying nature. Over the past 6,000 years of Kali Yuga, humans have ruined the world. He thinks humans have no right to live and wants to eradicate them. But before that, he wants to make himself powerful. To do so, Kali needs serum that can only be extracted from the womb of a pregnant woman. To achieve this, Kali has built a massive lab and employs top scientists. With the help of his soldiers, Kali captures many girls and imprisons them in his lab. He then performs a scientific experiment called seeding, impregnating these girls using a special method. However, not all the girls become pregnant after seeding. Those who do are given excellent living conditions and food. The girls who do not get pregnant are turned into slaves, serving and assisting the pregnant ones. The serum Kali needs can only be extracted from a woman who has been pregnant for more than 121 days, at least 4 months. Unfortunately, due to Kali's seeding, most of the girls in the lab do not survive beyond 90 or 91 days of pregnancy. Despite this, Kali continues his experiments, hoping to find a girl who can carry her pregnancy beyond 121 days so he can obtain the serum. At this point, we see Deepika Padukone, one of the captured girls in the lab. Deepika, however, is not pregnant. She was one of the girls who did not get pregnant after seeding and is therefore a slave. She helps the pregnant girls. We learn that Deepika was sent to the complex by her parents when she was very young and has lived there ever since. In the complex, she is known as Sum-80, SUM-80. A few days later, we discover that Deepika is indeed pregnant, having been so for 5 months, more than 150 days. She has kept this a secret from everyone. However, one day, a soldier notices her condition and informs the complex commander. Consequently, the lab workers take her and place her in a large machine to extract the serum from her womb. During the extraction process, the machine extracts only a single drop of serum before it stops, and the power supply cuts out. The lights flicker, and everything starts shaking. At this moment, we see Ashwatthama in a nearby temple. He has been meditating for a long time, but suddenly opens his eyes, sensing that the Kalki avatar is about to be born. He receives a divine signal to ensure nothing obstructs the birth of the Kalki avatar. We then learn that the woman destined to give birth to the Kalki avatar is none other than Deepika, or Sum-80. Back in the complex, after the machine extracting the serum stops, Deepika's friend, also a slave, arrives and helps her escape through a hidden path leading deep underground. She tells Deepika that she is actually a spy from Shambhala and has been in the complex for the past 2 years, gathering information to report back to Shambhala. She takes Deepika to a secret gate and explains that they can escape the complex through it. She also reveals that she has signaled some friends for help. She wants Deepika to leave with them, as they will take her to Shambhala, where she will be safe. When Deepika asks why she is helping her, the spy explains that Shambhala is a sacred city, and they believe that a woman will give birth to the Kalki avatar, who will bring salvation to humanity. She feels it's her duty to protect Deepika, as she believes Deepika is the chosen one. The spy stays behind to hold off the soldiers, allowing Deepika to escape. Outside, she sees 3 agents from Shambhala who have come to take her away in a large vehicle. They quickly get Deepika into the vehicle and drive off, trying to reach Shambhala as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the complex commander learns that Sum-80 has escaped and orders his soldiers to capture her, announcing a reward of 5 million units for her capture. Bhairav, seeing the reward, decides to hunt for Sum-80 to gain the reward and enter the complex comfortably. The 3 agents taking Deepika to Shambhala are Viran and Kyra, along with another companion. Kyra asks Deepika her name, and she replies, Sum-80, but Kyra suggests that she should be called Sumati instead. Deepika adopts the name Sumati. Soon after, the complex soldiers find them and attack, trying to capture Sumati. At this moment, Amitabh Bachchan, as Ashwatthama, makes his entrance, defeating the soldiers and saving Sumati. He tells her that he will protect her as she is destined to give birth to the Kalki avatar. Bhairava arrives shortly after, having tracked Sumati, and attempts to take her away, leading to a fight between Bhairava and Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama defeats Bhairava, and they head towards Shambhala with Sumati. When the commander learns about the encounter and the soldiers' defeat, he arrives at the scene with more soldiers, finding the bodies and a defeated Bhairava. He orders Bhairava's arrest, but Bhairava tells the commander that he overheard the destination being Shambhala, and that he is the only one who knows the way. The commander agrees to give Bhairava a chance, promising him entry into the complex if he retrieves Sumati. Bhairava returns home and frees a Shambhala spy he had captured long ago. However, he traps the spy, explaining that no one will be allowed entry into the complex, tricking the spy into thinking he is being freed. So now, there's no point in capturing anyone anymore, and thus, he is releasing him at this time. Hearing this, the Shambhala spy tells Bhairava that he shouldn't think about going to the complex anymore. Instead, he should come to Shambhala with him, a very beautiful city where he can join the forces of good since the people in the complex are very bad. Bhairava agrees, as it is part of his plan, and goes to Shambhala with the spy. Upon arriving in Shambhala, Bhairava knocks the spy unconscious and, deceiving him, goes directly to Sumati, assuming the guise of Ashwatthama. As Ashwatthama, he tries to take Sumati with him, but Ashwatthama confronts him outside, leading to another fight between Bhairava and Ashwatthama. This time, Bhairava, having prepared thoroughly, gives Ashwatthama a tough fight. Meanwhile, the complex commander arrives with a large number of soldiers and attacks Shambhala, leading to a massive war between Shambhala's soldiers and the complex's forces. During this war, the complex commander, along with his soldiers, severely defeats Shambhala's soldiers. At this time, we learn that the weapon Ashwatthama wields is actually Karna's weapon. The weapon suddenly falls into Bhairava's hands, who begins to glow and gain immense power. In a flashback, we learn that Bhairava is actually Karna from the Mahabharata, and his true powers as Karna awaken. Bhairava then becomes Karna for a while, and fights the commander's soldiers, killing them all, including the commander, thus saving Sumati. As soon as he drops the weapon, he reverts to being Bhairava, the same Bhairava who wanted to enter the complex. Regaining consciousness, he takes Sumati, puts her in his vehicle, and flies out of Shambhala. Ashwatthama tries to stop him, but fails, and Bhairava escapes with Sumati. Next, we see the complex, where Kali is seen. Recall that during Sumati's extraction, a single drop of serum had been extracted before the machine stopped. This single drop of serum is given to Kali, who immediately injects it into his body. As soon as the serum enters his body, Kali's frail and weak physique transforms into a powerful and muscular form, making him immensely strong. Kali then decides he needs the rest of the serum and will find Sumati himself to extract all of it. When this happens, Kali will become so powerful that no one, not even the gods, will be able to stop him. And that's where the movie ends. We'll have to wait for the next part to find out what happens next. Please let us know how you like this video in the comments. See you soon in our next video. Until then, bye-bye.